events or anything?
I don't think we have. No, I mean I've been to the old the Mindful Drinking Festival.
Yeah.
But I don't know
The
whether.
last one I'd done was in 2018.
Okay. Yeah, no. I went. When did I go? I've been, but only as a punter. So I was just kind of doing the rounds and drinking lots. And yeah. And there was the.
You know what? If it wasn't for the Mindful Drinking Festival and what Laura and Juicy done with the Mindful Club Soda,
Yeah.
I don't think the alcohol-free industry would have that awareness now.
Yeah. Completely agree.
What's going on? They really, really plugged it at that time.
Yeah, definitely.
Hats off to them.
I've spoken to Laura a couple of times on stuff like doing the videos and spoken to her, and she it's just, I think she does a lot that's like behind the scenes that you just don't that they don't talk about either, like all the stuff like lobbying sort of parliament and trying to change laws, things they don't necessarily shout about.
She was really active, back then, like taking us into House of the Parliament, and hats off to her. It's the drive that she has and what they are still doing has really helped to expand the alcohol-free section.
Absolutely, yeah.
My journey in alcohol-free, Rob, I don't know if you know, but started back in 2014.
Okay.
And started making all my recipes, a stout at that time, and a pale ale and an IPA. And everybody was saying to me when I was trying to raise funds, it was like, you bumped your head or something. Why do people want alcohol-free?
You're way ahead of the curve.
Well, it was quite funny actually, because it's those brewers now, the mainstream brewers, like, and I take the piss out of them. I have a right dig it. I say, oh yes, you've launched one now, have you?
Yeah, taking them long enough.
It is, but bless them. They're all good people, and it was a challenging time back in 2014, because there wasn't the certain products available to assist us in brewing alcohol-free that are available now. It was difficult to make an alcohol-free beer back then, and what we were doing in my previous brewery was brewing it with a low grain recipe, but still using a normal yeast. So you're like constantly checking, got the hydrometer out, you're constantly checking temperatures. It was hard work. But now with the yeasts that are out there, there's one yeast that I'm using which has got like 15% attenuation. And that then enables us to put more grain into the mash to give us a better body.
And there's no worry about then that turning to alcohol.
No, you've got to monitor it, and when you've got it to the right, you just got to turn your FVs off, But it's made life really, really easy, because it was always a gamble, You're always on edge.
I bet, yeah. The last thing you want is to brew a big batch and then realize it's all 3%, or it's all just spoil.
Listen, mate, I remember when we done our first couple of brews back then, we had to stick them down the drain. It was just so temperamental. But then you get to learn it, because what happened was I started off as a home brewer, so everything I done was on a 20 litre.
Okay.
So when you're going to brew it on a 1,000-litre kit, the science does go a bit,
this kind of get the scales right,
So the science was like out the window, and I was going, and at that time it was myself and my brewer, a young lad called Manmahan. And I'll tell you what, we both were pulling our hair out, but we managed to get there, and the beers are still selling.
That was 2014, and then what's been your path to get to Good Karma then? How are you what happened over the next few years?
Well, a lot of people know my story, but sadly, 2018, I had to step down as director of the brewery I'd created. It was bloody difficult, mate. It was heartbreaking. But I wasn't very well as well. I have a problem with my ongoing problem with my colon, and on top of that, it was mental stress didn't help, and other issues as well that were going on around me. So sadly, I had to step down and took treatment. 2019, spent 4 months in Goa, and just really chilled out there. Rob had a lot of treatment and spent a lot of time at an Ayurvedic clinic.
Okay.
And Ayurvedic medicine, which is like natural treatments around turmeric and ashwagandha and basil, tulsi, it really it's invigorating and it really helps, the natural way of doing things.
Amazing.
So I spent time there and then came back middle of 2019. Still chilled, still never got back into the industry, but then COVID started.
Yeah.
And then around about the same time, I won't name any names, but I got a telephone call that really wound me up and really upset me a little bit. And I thought to myself, you know what, I need to get back into the game here.
Nice.
So
I gave you motivation.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what, that person actually done me a favor by giving me a call at that time. Talk about a negative effect, actually had a positive effect.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah.
And then, so that was what, 2019, early 2020?
No, that was early 2020 when I had that phone call. So I had pulled friends together and said, listen, guys, I've got to do this. So I've got friends who I'm using brew houses at the moment and whatnot. And the other thing as well, that's keeping me really busy at the moment, I'm doing a lot of consultancy work in the no-low sector. And Rob, I tell you what, mate, there's some cracking new breweries launching later this year, mate.
Oh, really?
End of February, there's a alcohol-free lifestyle brand launching, which is really exciting. I'm helping out with, and I think there's another one that they're planning around about the 28th of May. Young lad and his wife. So there's some exciting stuff happening this year, pal.
So you're not just brewing, you're helping other people as well. You're
and I tell you what, I really enjoy that. I like talking beer. I like the science of brewing. It's not just about getting somebody to brew your product for you. You really got to get in there. You got to do it yourself. You've got to get your fingers sticky, in the mash and doing all that stuff. And anybody can tell somebody to make a beer for them, but when you actually do it yourself, there's you feel good.
Yeah. Well, I've got the beer. I've got one of your beers here.
Oh, man.
So good, so good. You said I had so you got two, haven't you, at the moment?
Yeah, I've got two. I'm working on a third at the moment, but I hadn't. It's a good thing. I haven't had the time to do it because I've been working on this project for these other guys.
Okay.
So I know, a bit of a pain here, but it's all good. And I'm working on something, pal, which is I'm a big fan of Belgian beers.
Yeah.
That's where I started off back in 2008, what I was selling. And what I really want to do is a good Greg.
Okay.
If I can do a good Greg or a lambic style, wow. I've reached. I'm a huge fan of Cantillon.
Oh yeah.
In Belgium, probably one of the first breweries I went to when I got off at Midi. It's an amazing place, and I learned so much from looking at their brew house. And if I can make a beer like that, that'd be that'd be something.
Well, I mean, there's not many styles that haven't been attempted yet in alcohol free, and that's definitely one of them that I know of. So yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, let's see how it comes out. Probably gonna have a few batches down the drain,
Yeah,
sadly.
yeah.
But
So,
that's what I want to work on, and I'm hopefully we can do that, mate. That'd
so
be
what
great.
are the beers you've got at the moment then in the range the two you've got at the moment?
So what we've got, we started off uh, with Culture Shock.
Mm.
So this is a lemon radler which I brewed with a very, very dear friend of mine, Stacey from Rock Leopard,
Okay.
who also launched about a year ago as well. And Stacey's also worked in the industry for a long time and probably had the same brick walls and nightmares that I've had as well, so like, God. But we managed to brew this, and what we wanted to depict in our name and in our branding is that about culture. It's like my parents and his parents traveled in the early 50s to the UK, and you this is a new culture for you, and vice versa. People looking at you as a different culture, and now we're seeing people traveling from Syria, on boats all over, and it's the same. And there's a lot of conflict towards that as well. And and I think the most important thing is we should be embracing. Cultures shouldn't really be a shock to you.
And how is
very important.
Definitely, I think, and that must be something that you're going to try and put out through all of your sort of branding.
This is it. I think Rob, as a brand owner, I think you're also a storyteller.
Yeah.
And you also have the job of putting messages out there.
Absolutely.
Bit of positivity, and then going on to our second beer, that was pretty much pure positivity. Love that feeling.
Yeah.
You're going to send that message out there. You're going to get, that's what's going to happen. You're going to send out positivity is going to come back to you.
Definitely.
And and this is what Good Karma is about.
Yeah.
Been through a lot of crap. Been through a lot of crap last couple of years, mate. So it's just gonna spread some good vibes now.
Absolutely. And I think it's interesting what you say about the like alternative medicines and stuff. And I feel like this, you can kind of, there's something a little bit of that in this. I feel it's different. It's got a little bit of spice to it. Do you know what I mean? It's there's definitely, and also like you say, love that feeling. There's a little bit of like, I don't know. It feels like it's making you feel better when you drink it.
I think, especially the alcohol-free sector, majority of the people who drink alcohol-free have been on a bad journey with alcohol and are, changing the way how they are drinking, their total lifestyle. And mindfulness is not about being mindful of what you're eating and what you're drinking, but also about the decisions that you personally make in your life that affects somebody else. So it's, there's so many connections between mindfulness, the holistic medicine, and this, and I call it the movement that's happening at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's bigger. I mean, it's a lifestyle, but like you say, it's a movement as well, and it's something that you can. There's many ways of sort of fitting into or of showing that, of embodying that. And through doing it for an alcohol-free beer is a great way of it. And I feel like, just like you say, the name of it, the company name, the colours, the name of the beer, the flavours as well.
I don't know if you remember, but the previous brewery, each of the names were associated with the chakras of your body, but they've changed all that now. But it's very important still. Like for instance, I don't know if you saw it, but we done it online yoga with Mel Rebusworthy the other day, which she's amazing. That girl is absolutely amazing,
and it's brilliant. You've now got that that platform to be able to celebrate these things, and your brand goes much further than the liquid in the can.
I think that's what it's all about. It's really, being a brand, like I said earlier, like being a brand owner, you really got to use your product in a way where you can bring some sort of positivity. There's a lot of shit going on out there at the moment. We've gone through the worst year of our lives. I think, it's all about, do good, be good, and feel good.
Absolutely. Too right.
we'll carry on doing it, Robin, as long as we can and we're able to. But the plan is, dude, is that to only produce beers that are slightly different. Stouts, pale ales, IPAs. I've done that. I want to do different. I want to challenge myself. And Hefeweizen, everybody can't believe how I got that banana coming through.
Yeah. It's brilliant. And I think, like you say, there's the it is different, and there isn't any craft brewers doing alcohol-free shandy or alcohol-free Hefeweizen. So like, it's great to see, and people react positively to that. I know.
Now the feedback you're given and your platform, Robin, I'm really grateful. Has really helped us, mate.
Oh, you're welcome.
And making a Hefeweizen, which is 99% wheat, is a very difficult beer to do, because when we made alcohol-free beer, we add a little bit of wheat in it to create the head retention.
Okay.
This is pretty much 99% wheat, so the way we had to do this was like, whoa, but I think we've managed to pull it out. I've still got to tweak it yet, pal. So I've been getting feedback from everybody, and good as, so it's first step.
That's great. So what, as you say, you're doing a bit of consultancy, and so you must be, you must have to research other non-alcoholic beers, and what else has kind of caught your eye recently? Like, what else have you been drinking?
You know what, I've been drinking a lot of kombucha recently as well.
Nice.
That's really helping me as well with my ongoing issues. And the other thing that I'm looking to develop within the whole Good Karma brand is eventually a product range that's based on Ayurvedic medicine.
Okay.
So, for instance, we're working on some drinks at the moment, and which have got tulsi, which is the Indian name for holy basil.
Okay.
It's slightly different to our normal conventional basil, but it's got a slightly different taste to it as well. But it's got a lot of properties. It helps your body relax. Also, turmeric. So we're looking to blend these sort of products into a soft drink.
Nice.
Finish, something that's refreshing. And helps us at the same time.
That's it. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's so, like, already to kind of see it evolving into something else, and keeping your core values at the center of it. Like,
this is it.
It's brilliant.
It's all about the values. I played around with a little bit of this idea previously at the other company, at the other brewery, where I mixed kombucha with our pale ale.
Yeah, I saw that. I had that.
Yeah, and that was quite interesting. And if you drink that, it does actually taste a little bit like a lambic. Because you've got that sourness, kind of that malt coming through. So I was nearly there.
Well, next time, Oh, that's really exciting. Oh, nice. So kombucha. Anything else? What else you drinking?
No, well, really, pretty much, it's a lot of products that are, you know, healthy. Drinking a lot of tea.
Yeah.
That's my mum's fault, actually. You know, she loved tea, and I'm a huge fan of tea. And these days, you can get some teas which have got some awesome blends. You know, people like Pucker, they like what they got in their mixtures are like mental. You know, so drinking loads of tea, mate. That's yeah, it's good stuff. But I'm also finding in the last couple of months there's some really cracking new indie alcohol-free beer brands popping up. You know, which is really good. So I saw one the other day. The guys had done a stout with honeycomb. Looking forward to tasting that. That sounds really interesting. And there was another one, another dimension. Got a decent parallel, and you know, and the Miklo ones again. You know, obviously brewed by the Prof, the best brewer in the world. You got some cracking decent beers there, pal. You know, there's some good stuff, man. But watch out, look out. I can't mention any names now, and it won't be fair to the guys, but there's some cracking stuff coming out later this year, dude.
Nice. That's good to hear. Yeah, it sounds like you're in the middle of it all. So if your beers are anything to go by, then we're in good hands.
Well, I hope so. Well, hopefully I get the chance to blooming brew my beers now. I will do. I've got some ideas, pal, and hopefully, you know, be with you guys soon. We, you know, we're working on some interesting stuff. Like I said earlier, I want to challenge myself a little bit. You know, I've been out of the game for 2 years, and you know, at the back of my mind, I still, you know, I know I've got a lot to do. With the support of friends, we started off in the industry back in 2014. I still feel since 2018, the industry hasn't really grown that much. I think it's just starting now. The pandemic has actually delayed a lot, but I think probably this year we're going to really see it, the alcohol-free sector grow. You know, because people, because of the pandemic, are careful of what they're doing. The lifestyles are changing.
Absolutely.
That's all going to help towards it.
Yeah, I completely agree, and I feel like there's been a bit of I feel like there's things happening at home that, and everything people are getting into it and they're buying it and they get delivered at home and people are brewing new beers and this whole thing is rumbling, but none of us are allowed to go out and celebrate it yet. And as soon as we're able to go out, I've got a feeling that the industry itself, like pubs and restaurants, the demand is going to be so huge for alcohol-free stuff.
It's going to be mad.
Like you say,
but you know what, Robin, you're going to be quite surprised. You phone up any canning company at the moment, any bottling company, they're busy.
Yeah.
You cannot get canning space at the moment to can your products.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely mental. And plus there's a worldwide shortage on cans now.
Yeah. I was speaking to the brewer at First Drop in Manchester last week, and he was saying, like, they're so lucky that they've got their own canning on site, because they'd be screwed. They'd be massively delayed without it. So
absolutely. We on the Culture Shock, we were meant to release this, dude, in August.
Perfect for the summer.
Exactly. But when did we launch it? End of October.
Yeah. It's a bit of a shame, isn't it?
It was mad.
But you have to get it back out next summer, and we can enjoy it when we're allowed to go out again.
Indeed. Hopefully, I'll do some more flavors in that as well. You know, a blood orange, Radler, and a couple of other little combinations as well. So
nice.
We've got some idea. And the good thing as well, Robin, on our products, you know, they're all 100% organic ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
So again, it's all part of the mindfulness, you know, what we put into our bodies. And the aim of Good Karma is that towards the end of the year, you know, we can parts of our percentage of our profits we can give to charity.
Yeah,
You know?
brilliant.
Good karma. You do something good, something will come back to you, mate. You know, it's all a bit of positivity.
Absolutely.
You know?
Oh wow, yeah, and it's great to see you back and healthy and yeah,
Thank
great,
you, man.
great beers, and yeah, we're really looking forward to everything you got coming up, and all the best, really.
And thank you for your support, man. You know, you guys weren't around, all these subscription boxes and all that weren't around in 2017, 2018.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
So, you know, you guys are doing a banging job, mate. You know.
Yeah, I started drinking alcohol-free beer at the start of 2019, and
okay.
In the last sort of 2 years, it's blown up. But like you say, I think it's only just the start. I think like there's still so much that can be done. And even like you think like the last couple of months with the bigger brewers getting involved, and they've only just started doing it. Like, so it's just going to be.
I'm really looking forward to. One of my favourite breweries in London is Signature. And I'm really looking forward to tasting their alcohol-free beer.
Yeah, it's really good.
Sam's a good friend of mine. I really want to taste that, you know, and pop down and wind him up, you know, because he was one of them saying, "Steve, you bumped your head." I don't think so.
That's it, isn't it? And I think like they're a good example of like getting their beer out now, and then when we can go to gigs and stuff, you'll be able to get a pint of it or a can of it when, you know. So yeah,
we never. I think a lot of alcohol-free brands, I think, should not be promoting not for people not to totally drink. Okay, the ones that choose not to drink will not drink.
Yeah.
But the normal craft beer drinker should try to include an alcohol-free option in their drinking session. You know,
and I think
or during the week.
Yeah, I think that's it, isn't it? And like we mentioned when we started chatting at the beginning about what Laura's doing at Club Soda, like they're all about moderation, and they're not about stop drinking completely. But they're just about thinking, you know, just be consider what it is you're doing and what you're drinking, and be mindful. And I think a lot of the people that subscribe to my box, they drink beer, they drink high percentage stuff. They just want to have 8 beers in the fridge that they know on a Monday night or a Tuesday night they can have it and not have to worry about driving or the kids or
you hit the nail on the head there, mate. You know, this is totally the way it is at the moment. And you know, I think more and more with the mainstream brewers now introducing options are turning the heads of the hard-nosed craft drinkers who now alcohol-free. Even they are now saying, okay, you know, you've got to take it seriously.
Yeah, I think I've definitely seen Dry January this year a lot more like hardened craft drinkers, boozy drinkers are now doing it, whereas they would have laughed at it a year ago. And also I feel like if people who drink alcoholic beers and then going and drinking alcohol-free beers, it means that the quality has to be really, really good, because if their first entry point into it is a weak, fizzy, cheap thing, then they're going to be put off. So I think like it's just going to push the quality up, and everything.
Definitely, if the product after all the efforts still tastes like Caliber, then what's the point?
Luckily, we're a long way from that. Thanks to Ralph. You got a lot to thank for that.
So. Listen, mate. What Rob's doing at Big Drop, and you know the lads at Infinite, the girls at Drop Beer, everyone. You know, there's some. You know, these companies are really, really, you know, kicking ass now. You know, really putting alcohol-free on the map. And you know, I think with these other new additions that are popping up, I think you know we're really going to look forward to some good alcohol-free good times, mate.
Definitely. Well, when we can get back together, we'll have to meet up and have have a beer
Definitely.
when we're allowed.
Hopefully at the Mindful Drinking Festival.
If we January next year, if we're not able to go January mindful drinking, then we'll have to give it up completely, I think.
That's it, man. Seriously, mate. Seriously.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And again, just
Oh, man, thank you
Great
so
to
much,
see
dude. Really appreciate it, pal.
Great to see you well, and take care, and I'll
thank
speak to you again soon.
See you later, pal. Take it easy.
Cheers, mate. Bye.